Hi, this is Ms. Serratis, and in this video, you're going to learn how to do some coding using a program called Scratch, and I use that with Google. So Google for Education does have its own coding website, and it's called CS First. CS First standing for Computer Science. And what you're going to do is click on the link to get to this website, and you're going to hit Sign In to create an account so that all of your work will get saved no matter what computer you go to. And you want to make sure you click on Student. And when you do that, the first time that you're doing this, you're going to need to put in your class code. So make sure you check out the post, and I'll have a couple of different class codes to use. It doesn't matter which class code that you use, they all will basically take you to the same place. So I put in the class code, and the important thing to find out is that it's got my name on it. So if it's got my name on it, then that's good. So hit yes, join. And since this is the first time you're doing this, you're going to need a new CS First username and password. So click yes. So this is my username and password. You have to write it down somewhere. You have to keep track of it, because if you don't, I cannot get this information back for you. It has to be like maybe just open up a Google Doc and copy and paste this to a Google Doc. If we're in Google Classroom, you would put it into a private comment. You must save this, because otherwise, if you don't save this, we cannot get back to your work, and I can't see what you've done for coding. Plus, you won't be able to go back and change anything that you've worked on. So all the usernames will start with the letter CS, and it'll be a bunch of numbers, and the passwords will be just randomly generated. And so once you've done that, you hit the sign in button. So I'm just saving it to make sure I can get back to it later on also. So once you've done that, you want to go ahead and hit the sign in button. So again, this is only the first time. If you're a returning student, then you just put the username and password. And here's where it takes you. The code took you to something called Unusual Discovery. Just forget about that. Once you get to this website, what I want you to do is click on where it says Curriculum. And when you go to Curriculum, there is a ton of coding projects. So just scan kind of quickly, and you'll be able to see there's quite a bit of coding projects here. And we will be doing some coding in class. So if you want to get started, I highly recommend you check out the smaller coding activities. So it's under the section that says 1 hour activities. There's a couple of smaller ones. Starts with characterization, interactive presentation, dialogue, narration, figurative language, and then there's a couple more, as you can see. The popular ones are the ones called Animate a Name. That is super popular. Create Your Own Google Logo is also very popular. Adventures on the High Sea, and Gumball Coding. And it tells you that these are all, it tells you like the level of difficulty and the amount, about how long it should take you to do. So you definitely want to start with these smaller ones, because the level of difficulty is their introductory level, and they're about an hour. Some are about 2 hours. The videos are in English or in Spanish, so that will help some of you out. And if you really are into coding, if you keep going down, they have what's called multi-day coding. This is where the real hardcore coding begins. There's intermediate ones called Friends and Fashion Design. Art is intermediate. Advanced is sports and game design. Game design is super popular with a lot of different students. So is sports, but as you can see, that's going to take about 8 to 12 hours worth of coding. So whichever coding project you choose to do, that's up to you, but I highly recommend that you start and pick a few of these smaller ones. In class, I'm going to mandate that you do three of these smaller ones. So like I said, the popular ones are Animate a Name, and also Code Your Hero is pretty popular, but where's the other one that says Google Logo is pretty popular as well. Create Your Own Google Logo. So how does this work? So let me start with the Animate a Name, since I said that was a pretty popular one. And actually, there's something I need to point out, so I'll click on that. So when you click on that, it takes you to the actual coding for, how do you code Animate a Name. It says there's 2 activities, and this is just an overview of what you're doing. Here it is. So the 2 activities is activity 1's in English and activity 2 is in Spanish. So obviously you only need to do one of the languages. And so I'm going to click the start button, and there's a video on what to do. So you will be required to watch the video. So
Hi, my name is Olga,
wondering.
and I work in Google's computers.
So you just have to watch the whole thing. And then when you're done with it, she's going to tell you to click on the starter project. The starter project is off on the right. Sometimes there are add-in videos below. So I'm going to point that out in a minute. So here's the starter project. When I click on the starter project, it opens up a separate website. The separate website is the Scratch website. Here is where you will be doing all of your coding. So the CS First that we started with, this is the tutorials on what to do and how to do it. But here, Scratch is where you will actually do the work. So to do the coding, you're going to need 2 websites open at the same time. So the first thing I do when I get to the Scratch website, see I'm on Scratch, is top right corner, I hit the sign in button. And make sure you use the same username and password that you did before. So it was 82. Oops, I think I spelled it wrong. Okay, sign in. Perfect. So make sure you use the same username and password. So it's one username and password. Your Scratch one, you have to sign in, and that's the username. And this one here, you had to sign in order to see the tutorial. So now that I've watched my program, it told me to go to the starter project. We went into the starter project. So we just kind of like skipped all of this. I did it all for you. And one thing that the video doesn't do a good job of is showing you where to find the letters for spelling your name. It's actually down here. That's one way to find it. You just click on the sprite and you go to letters. And if you go there, you'll be able to find the letters so that you can spell your name. But anyways, that's the one thing I know the video didn't do a good job of explaining. So what I'll do is I go back to my tutorials, and below is going to be a bunch of what you call add-ons. So the basic top will show me how to write out my name. But then I want to make different things happen to my name. For example, I want to change the color of it. Maybe I want to make the letters grow and shrink down. Maybe I want my letters to spin. Maybe I want them to do the wave. Maybe I want them bouncing. Maybe I want a drawing effect. There are a ton of effects here. Add a background. Make the name say something. These are the cool things that really add some animation to your name. So you are not required to do all of these effects, but pick a couple of them. Generally speaking, I tell kids they should add about maybe 1/3. So let me see, we've got here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 different effects. Do maybe about 4. 4 effects to, pick 4 different ones that you really like and add it to your name. So they work out the same. If I want to learn how to change the color, I click on the change the color. It brings up a short video.
In this video, you'll make a letter change color when it's clicked.
It's not even 2 minutes long. You just follow the video, go back here to your Scratch website, and make the color change that it says to do. So the other thing I want to point out is when you are finished with your work, there's going to be this remix button. The remix button is how you save your work. So again, you come here to the CS First website, and let me go back to the beginning. You start with curriculum, and you explore which one of these curriculums you want to work on. It's up to you. It's entirely up to you. If characterization sounds awesome to you, go ahead and do that. Code a Hero, I know that's down there somewhere. If that sounds like awesome to you, go ahead and do that. It tells you, I focus on the introductory ones, those are like the easier ones, and it tells you how long it should take you to do. Pick a couple of them, whatever you're comfortable with. You just want to become comfortable with the coding environment. You click on it. And once you click on it, there's going to be a video that shows you what to do. So you start it, you watch the video. Some of them will have a starter project off on the right. and you click on the starter project. If they have more than one starter project, just do one. This only has one, but if there's like 2 or 3, just do one. You click on the starter project, it automatically takes you to this website, which is the Scratch website. When you get to the Scratch website, the first thing that you should do is sign in. So this one's already signed in from the last time. Your sign in is that CS number that you were given when you created your CS First account the first time when you first started creating an account. So sign in so they both have the same username and same password. And so this is the starter project. This is what you start with. Now I go back here. I watch this video. It explains to me what I'm going to do. And then I have some add-ons. Maybe, so it says to start here, move your hero. You want to learn how to move the hero. You want to learn how to fly over the building, music. So you don't need to do all of them, but you definitely should do some of them. But definitely you want to learn how to move your hero. I definitely think I want to learn how to fly. I think that would be pretty cool as well, and maybe a few others. And when you are done, you watch the video, you can pause the video, but you make all of your changes. Sorry, the Code Your Hero is right here, to the Scratch website. And when you are done with all your changes, I've done nothing, but once I am done, I will hit this remix button. The remix is the save button. If you close out of the Scratch website without hitting the remix, nothing will be saved. And in order for me to see your projects, you'll have to hit the share button. So once you hit the share button, it creates a link. Don't worry about that right now. All I'm going to tell you is that if you don't hit the share button, nobody can see your projects. To see what you have done, you can either click on your username or go to the file folder. That's my stuff. It's all the same. And if I go there, I can see that there are 2 projects started so far, the Animate a Name and the Code Your Hero. It says that one of them has been shared and one has not been shared. Because remember, I did hit the share button for Code Your Hero, but on Animate a Name, I did not hit the share button, which is, I could just click the See Inside button and go here and hit the share button. So nobody can see your work unless you share it. So the reason why I'm showing you my stuff is so that you can see that as long as you sign in with that username, anything that you work on gets saved in one place. So pick a couple of different coding projects that you find interesting and just have some fun with it. And if you're really, really good at it and really are enjoying the curriculum, just go to curriculum, then scroll down to the bottom and start and try some of these more advanced ones. Not required, but I will tell you, like I said, the game design is super popular. I know it says it's advanced, but once you have a little bit of coding under your belt, it's very doable. The way that these multi-day ones work is like there's several. There's activity 1, which is called Gaming Story, and then if I scroll down, there's activity 2, activity 3. As you can see, there's like 8 activities. Every single one of these multi-day ones have like 8 activities included, which each activity will take about an hour to an hour and a half long. So it's up to you. So again, get a CS First account. Make sure you click on curriculum. Check out the ones that you're interested in, and you will be doing everything on 2 websites. This website, the CS First website, has the video tutorials, and Scratch is where you do your work. 1 username, 1 password. Have fun with it and keep coding.